Hi guys, it's Taylor. How are you doing? I hope everyone's staying home, staying safe, and if you are working on the front lines, thank you so much. And for today's video, I'm actually going to be telling you my favorite fairy tale characters. I just recently started watching fairy tale, how I never knew about this anime before. I have no idea. I literally grew up watching anime. I grew up watching Naruto, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, and just some of those, even One Piece at one time. Don't know why I liked it, but I did. Who knows? Back then it was obviously appealing to me for some really bizarre reason, but my favorite out of those I just mentioned in the past was Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. I actually did not know Yu-Gi-Oh! Had a first season. I thought GX was the original, but that was just me. I did not know this until later on, so. Anyway, my first favorite character of fairy tale, and this one might be a little obvious, and if I do look off to the side, I do have a list, because it is a lot of characters. But the first one is Jalaw. He is freaking amazing. He is kind of annoying when you first meet him, and he is also known as Mystigan and Seagrain. But through time, you do get to know him better, and he's just a really badass character. He's the kind of character I like. He has a storyline. You get to see him grow up from a little kid to where he is now, what happened in between. It is awesome. And the next is Midnight from the Arasion Seis. Yes, Midnight. This is a character I think not many people like, at least from what I've found out from being in a fairy tale group on Facebook. For whatever reason, Midnight seems to not be a very popular character. Why? He is a lot like Jalaw. He is really freaking cool, and they both were in the Tower of Heaven. Midnight was one of the child workers that Jalaw had when he was possessed by quote-unquote Xerath. I do like Midnight. He does make me laugh every time when I do watch this series, and I'm in the Arasion Seis arc. He's just a really cool character, very well done, and I'm glad he sticks around throughout the series and gets more developed. I haven't seen some of this yet because I haven't had time to watch more of Fairy Tail, but I plan to soon. And after Midnight, we actually have Xerath. Speaking of Xerath, again, one of those characters that isn't really liked, but he is. But it takes that particular kind of person to like them a lot. And that would be me. I always end up liking the characters that aren't particularly liked by the masses. It's not like Natsu and Arzo, where they already have huge amounts of people that like them. So, I tend to like the ones that people don't like. And Xerath is one of them. Xerath, a lot like Jalaw and Midnight, and probably a lot like everyone else on this list, they already have an amazing story. And Xerath is actually the older brother of Natsu, which is incredible considering they are so different from each other. Xerath goes to rule his own kingdom and has his own little group of people to help him, while Natsu is off with the Fairy Tale Guild and has all of them, and of course, happy. But Xerath, like I was saying, is a lot like the other two, in the sense that he's very intricately made and develops very well throughout the series, which I love. And I love him. He's just awesome. I can't really say a whole bunch more unless I were to do a reaction video with Xerath, and you can see how I, and talk about him, which I might actually do. And then next is Rogue. Yes, I know Rogue's counterpart is Sting, but I do like Rogue just a bit more than I do Sting. I don't know a whole lot about Rogue. Like I said, I haven't gotten that far in the series. I do know he is a dragon slayer. One of the many of them, which I think there's 6 of them? I don't recall. But he is my favorite by far, out of the dragon slayers as well. And he's very intriguing, using shadows as his power, which is a lot like Shikamaru from Naruto, which makes sense because the same creator for Naruto also made Fairy Tail. So I can see where the similarities come in. But Rogue appears to be a very abstract character that you get to know better as the series goes on. But from the little I've seen of him and understand, he is very determined and very loyal to Sabretooth, from what I can tell. Now, as I go on, I'll learn more about Rogue, obviously. But for now, he is my favorite out of the pair of Rogue and Sting. I do like Sting, just not as much as Rogue. Plus, Rogue is also badass with how he can just transform into a shadow, disappear, and then reappear. Kinda don't want to be up against Rogue. I'd rather have him on my side. And then Gray. One of the main 3, or is it 4? 3 for a while, then the 4. Gray, as many of the others I've just mentioned, is very intricately made and such an awesome character. And an ice maker, which is awesome. He learned from Or, which I did find that out, and he seems to have a complicated family history and just is a complicated character, but also a really unique character. Yes, he gets into it with Natsu a lot. They tend to bicker and so forth, but he does seem to be very understanding and very caring of all of his friends, regardless of what your background used to be, and so forth. And then we're going to get into some girls. I do not like only guys, believe it or not. I have actually had 3 girls I really like, and here they are. Kana is first, actually. I do not drink. I cannot relate to her on that note. But she is amazing. She actually brought Mavis back in the series where they're doing the S-Class rank competition or whatever it is. But she is also such an important character in the series, while also being a tarot card reader and a heavy drinker. And she's just really fun, she's outgoing, she wants to be a part of things. And then when things get serious, she can also be a leader, which is also like the next character I'm going to mention, which is Lucy. Lucy is so much fun, she loves everybody, and is just such a happy-go-lucky person, but the same as Kana and the next girl I'm going to mention in a minute. But they each care so much about their friends, but when it's time to get to business, they do. They waste no time getting down to business. And the last girl that I really like out of Fairy Tail is actually Levy. Her ability to decode messages, like Freed left before the Fantasia parade, is incredible. Who would have thought of that? And the ability to use words as her magic. She is a lot like Kana and Lucy. She is a lot of fun. She loves her friends, but she can also get down to business. and she does not fool around, and none of these others do either. So, and then just some honorable mention characters, which I'm not going to go into detail about. But some honorable mentions that I do like is Natsu. Actually, I do like him more than I like Naruto, which is saying a lot as I grew up with him. Urza. Here's the thing with me and Urza. Okay, let me clarify this. I do like Urza, just not a whole bunch. Okay, it's a love-hate relationship. When she's needed, I don't mind. But when she can seem in the way, or just like she's been there too long for part of a series, or I'm sorry, an arc, then I get annoyed. Such as in the Tower of Heaven, when she was telling the story. Yes, that's great. I loved the story, but it seemed like she was forced, you know? So it's a love-hate relationship. When she needs to be there helping people, then great, put her in. But when she's not particularly needed, can we just wait a couple episodes and then include her? But I do like her a lot. She is a lot like these guys and gals I've mentioned. Has an incredible history and wonderful character development. So it's just love-hate relationship, but I do like Urza. Juvia. She would be in my favorites, except for the fact she chased Gray a lot. Need I go over this? I do like her a lot, though, especially with her ability to turn her body into nothing but water. That is a huge advantage over enemies, so that is wonderful. She can just seem a lot like Urza and can be forced into episodes sometimes, but she is a wonderful character. Now, this next character, why the heck is he not mentioned? Zack. Okay, this guy is just hanging around. He's not really mentioned. He is seen a lot when you're with the guild. Okay, he's there. He's very present. But he's not mentioned. Why? I love Zack. I'd love to get to know him a little better. But I am glad that throughout the series, especially when you first meet them, and then you get to know the Fairy Tail Guild better, that he does have a deeper relationship with Biska, and they do eventually marry and have a child of their own. But he is such a neat character, and he's one of those that's heavily downplayed, which is so sad, but I'm glad he is there, and such a huge help to the guild. And then finally, Gajeel. Yes, I do like 3 of the Dragon Slayers. Gajeel is very hit or miss basis with me. In the battle that he is in with Natsu against Sting and Rogue, great. Let's do it. And even with Agnologia, Gajeel kind of has to be present for that. Because it's the Dragon Slayers versus Agnologia, but a lot of the time, I think Gajeel's kind of just thrown in there like, hey, we need another character for this episode. Why not just put Gajeel in? And his entrance, his anime debut, which is a wonderful episode, but once again, it seemed forced and a little over the top with destroying the Fairy Tail Guild Hall. That's just my personal opinion, though. I will agree to disagree with you. But those are my favorite characters in Fairy Tail and the honorable mentions. And then just as a conclusion, all these characters have a very intricate storyline. They're all amazing characters. Characters that aren't very liked, some of them. and some that are liked a lot. But that is all I have for you today. I will continue watching Fairy Tail. It'll probably be one of my favorites for a very long time. And once I get to know more, I might be adding more characters to this list. So stay tuned. I hope I do get to add more characters. But for now, those are the ones that I know and love and like to a certain extent. So I will see you all next time. Stay safe, stay home, and help stop the spread of COVID-19, and have an awesome day. Bye, guys.